Perfect timing for this email that came in earlier this morning from Jason.
Hi, Jason.
RAD@radradio.com. He is writing about Greg from Map Training online at trainwithmap.com. And Greg happens to be sitting right here in the studio with us. Good morning, Greg. Jason says, I just wanted to commend Greg for being amazing. I have spent time in the military. I was a volunteer firefighter. I have had multiple sessions of PT due to injuries over the years, and no one comes close to what Greg does. After years of working and playing hard, it was time for a change. Beyond maximizing your workouts and training sessions, he's just an amazing person who clearly cares for you as an individual.
Yep.
I drive 40 minutes one way because it is absolutely worth it.
Wow.
His infectious positivity has been a blessing. Thank you for giving this 20-plus-year maggot the opportunity to be introduced to MAP and get to know Greg. I am a better human for having him in my life.
Wow, that's so nice.
Jason's being really nice because he actually threw up like the first 3 times he came to work out. He's not afraid of hard work, I'll tell you that.
And we should remind people that trainwithmap.com, it's a variety of things. Yeah, there is a gym, and you can personal train them, but you can also do virtual personal training. You can set them up with workouts online. And then, of course, there's the meal planning. That's kind of the encompassment of it, correct?
Nothing to miss.
Last time you were here, we were talking about water. You love water. And you even lectured me a little bit about maybe come down a little bit on the sparkling water. Because of what was it? What's the if you drink too much? Because I was doing like 100 ounces a day.
Yeah, so the phosphorus in the actual carbonation of carbonated water can start to pull calcium from your bones over time. So it'll actually weaken your bone structure.
And why is just water in general so important?
You're mostly water, as much as we don't like to believe that. But more importantly, it keeps you fluid. So it allows nutrients to travel where they need to go. It allows the toxins that you produce throughout the day to leave your body. And without water, you can't actually break down calories into energy. So no matter how well you eat, without water, you're not going to feel like you should.
So because we were having the conversation and because I asked you about sparkling water, then we get into the bargaining phase. Because, of course, for some people, water has no taste in it and they don't like it. And so we all want to bargain. Like, Greg, can I get away with this? Like I was doing. But by the way, I'm basically off sparkling water.
Wow.
Just as a motivation of you.
Good for you.
That's awesome.
I might have a bottle every morning if I'm feeling like it, but it's just I'm just doing regular ice water. But
That's a big deal for you.
Some people can't do that. So Pedro has a bargaining question for you. What about flavored sparkling water or those vitamin waters you can buy at a big warehouse store? Are these a good option to drinking plain H2O?
Are they a good option against H2O? No.
Nothing's better, right, than just water.
Yes, nothing's better than just water. But if it's going to make you drink more liquid, it's a start. What you need to look out for in those flavored waters is how they are flavored. So fructose tends to build up in the body very, very quickly, and it can basically affect the aging process. So it's not...
Buy fructose.
Good? You mean goodbye. Don't buy
goodbye.
it. Goodbye.
Exactly. So as that builds up, you don't want to overconsume that. It can start to affect you long term. But the best way to stick to water is to find other flavorings. You know, something like a branched chain amino acid, which I've mentioned a couple of times, is something that's going to provide your body with more benefits than maybe a sugary or fake sugar water.
Before my surgery, my doctor was like, I need you, we're about 2-3 weeks out. He's like, I need you to just, up your water. You know, he started telling me like how much. I'm like, already doing it because of Greg. Already drinking that much. And even after the surgery, he's like, keep that water, keep going. Because everything you mentioned, I'm sure like helps the flushing and all of that.
My favorite with the flavored waters is made with real fruit flavors.
What about, do you have any opinion on collagen water?
Collagen water, that's actually outside my knowledge. I'm not sure.
Asking for a friend. All right, so let's see. We got Brandon and Kyle and Dawn have all been working with Greg. Kyle, where are you at with Greg?
Down 23 pounds. I'm starting to see my muscles come through under what used to be fluffy. So it's a lot nicer looking at myself in the mirror now. You can see it in my jawline too.
Noticeable change in Kyle physically, just not mentally. You can't do anything about that.
That's going to take some other work.
How about you, Brando? Where are you at?
I am actually on the 7-day meal plan, and I'm loving it. It's so refreshing to have somebody just lay out the roadmap for me and give me all the nutrients that I need to continue to build on what I've already been building.
So you did get on the 7-day meal plan.
I did,
How
and
long?
I've been on it for almost a little over a month now, right, Greg?
Yeah, coming up on a month.
Can you take a brief moment to describe what that one is?
The 7-day meal plan? So it's just something that provides more variety. I am a very simple person. And I think eating simply is the best way to start out. one, you're going to save money because you can buy things in bulk. It's easier to buy 20 chicken breasts than it is to buy one. And then two, it just takes the decision making out of your day. You just got to be comfortable eating the same thing. It's a great way to get on track. The 7-day meal plan is someone like Brandon, who's been on a meal plan for a while, a little more advanced, ready to take something on a little bit more variety. He's now has recipes in his meal plans. He's got 7 separate days of eating, and it's a great way to carry over. Let's say you make a dinner, you can carry over into the lunch the next day, and it just provides more options. It's a little bit more life-friendly.
And you got a question, phone number is 888-989-9811. Greg's here. He'll answer your nutrition questions, workout questions, etc. We got this email from Jodine.
Hey, Jodine.
Says, I'm a 30-year-old female, 124 pounds. I'm a runner who does anywhere from 20 to 35 miles a week.
Wow, good
But
for you.
I've always dreamed of being buff. Specifically, I want a six-pack and toned arms. I eat very clean throughout the week, but I have no clue how to start building the muscles I want and what I should be eating to reach my goals. I'm getting married this September and would like to not only look my best for our wedding, but reach my fitness goals. Is this something Greg can help me with?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of simple answers in that. Starting the basic strength training routine, reps between 10 and 12 is a great way to start putting on some strength, and switching some of those miles you're running into sprints will start to encourage that six-pack to show up as well.
And you can do that with her just through online, or it doesn't even sound like she needs you personally touching, right? I mean, it sounds like you can do all that through emails and online.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's already got some experience clearly from being so athletic and running those miles. She'd have a very easy go of understanding the tutorial videos that the workouts are built out of.
I honestly, and I want to give accolades to Greg because there's a lot more to obviously, if you're not fit and you want to get fit, that's the end goal. But there's so much more that I've gotten from Greg in the sense of, I still have a long way to go to be fit. However, when I first started with him, 15 pounds came off, but I was also dealing with a lot of pain from what was going on in my body. But he had me eating in such a way up to my surgery that it literally made all the difference. It really did. I really think it would have been harder on me had I still been I almost want to cry. Had I still been eating the other way, because even the nurses at the hospital were like really impressed. They're like, you're up and moving long before these other girls that are half your age in here. They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe I was still there for 2 days, but my surgeon said it was a very rough surgery because the uterus was so huge and he was just wanted to keep me there. And just all the water, all the protein, just everything, the way I was fueling my body. And even after the way I'm fueling my body, they're happy with the progress and how it's healing, and there's still some healing to go. And so that is huge, and so I know once I'm cleared for exercise, I'm excited. I can't wait, till I can fit both of those together, because I've always been that type of person. It's not just the nutrition for me, it's also the movement. But we always think in terms of, right, a certain goal of losing weight, but this is also very important if you have things like surgery coming up. Yeah. It really is. It makes all the difference. Just thank you so much, honestly.
And you would just, I'm sure, advise just in wellness. If there are people who have no interest in working out in any way or exercising in any way, and maybe it's just because they don't feel like they have to. Hey, I just went to the doctor, I got a clean bill of health, and I walk a lot anyways, but there's still a lot you can offer them just in terms of lifestyle and feeling the way Dawn's describing.
Absolutely. I work with a lot of very experienced people that say, hey, I already have my workouts on lock. I just want to narrow down my nutrition. How can you help me? And those people are doing so great because they're utilizing the coaching aspect, right? Dawn utilized the ability to reach me and ask the questions that she needed. So you can get information anywhere. A lot of people can write a meal plan that's going to be okay, right? I think mine are great, but more importantly, you can reach me just about any time to get the information that you need. That's what's important.
How's the reaching going? Because I know we were talking before we went on the show, and last time you were here, you're getting busier, and you're one guy.
Yeah, so I am working on building a team to help me. I have very high expectations, and I want them to meet those. So it's been a slow process. But what's going on now is people are purging based on the New Year's resolutioners fading away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what I can't understand
that time.
is I always follow up with everyone and say, hey, I'm so sorry to see you leave. I really wish you could stay. Just from my knowledge and a chance to make everything better, why are you leaving? And they all say, I don't have the right mindset yet. So why quitting is going to help you come up with a mindset to take care of yourself. I'm really unsure, but just find out. I always say, I hope you take the information that you got here, use it in your daily life, and have a chance to at least improve.
Maybe come back if you realize you're ready. I got a few bargaining email follow-ups on the water thing. Patricia says, what about adding cucumber slices or lemon mint to my water? Is that better than flavored water?
Absolutely. There's actually benefits to that as far as pH levels within your body.
What about, I used to, and I might go back to this, I used to put in lemons and jalapenos. Any problem with the jalapenos in my water?
No, not at all. It'll actually speed up your metabolism.
Well, maybe I'll like a jalapeno.
Yeah.
No,
Nick says, my trainer has me adding pink Himalayan salt and lemon to my water. What are your thoughts?
He's trying to balance out your pH level. So most of us walk around very acidic just from all the processed foods that we eat. He's trying to bring that down to make you more neutral, like water. I'm totally okay with it.
And Kevin says, what about seltzer?
Seltzer water, same idea as the carbonated water, right? It's still carbonation. It doesn't matter how you get it done.
So when I used to be a runner back a million years ago, I would have salt on me. Is that something you should be doing? Is then replacing it with the salt in your water?
Absolutely.
If I ever became that kind of runner again, I don't know if that'll happen, but
all those hydration formulas out there are a mix of electrolytes, one of those being sodium, right? So not necessarily straight table salt. Himalayan salt is much closer to the actual sodium process that we need, and replacing that is very important.
Now, what's the difference between you're a nutritionist, and what's the difference between that and a dietitian?
How much school you went to? No, some states limit what you are able to do as a nutritionist versus a dietitian. California is not very particular about that. So if we were to live in another state, I couldn't physically write you a meal plan. I would need a dietitian to do that. And it's more just a liability thing. Some nutritionists have done the bare minimum, kind of like a chiropractor that went to a 2-year college. So they have enough understanding, but they have difficulty working with people who may have, more life-threatening issues.
Whereas you don't have those limitations, because of so much schooling that you've done and the experience?
Absolutely. And I have certifications beyond my initial nutritionist degree. I've done sports nutrition and a number of other things to back it up.
So I bring it up because I saw this story that caught my eye, because one of the things we talk about every time you're here is that you horrify people often. Because amongst Brandon and Kyle and Dawn, Brandon is trying to bulk up. He's trying to gain weight. Most people aren't coming to you for that necessarily. At least a lot of people aren't. And either way, you make them eat more. And you have to explain to them why they're going to eat more and what is the science behind that.
Yeah, so first of all, I promise I'm not trying to sabotage you. It's in my best interest for you to do well, right? And vice versa. So people get so turned off because they're conditioned to eat less. When you are conditioned to eat less, your body is a homeostasis machine. It wants to stay the same weight. So as you eat less, instead of burning fat, your metabolism will drop. Your body will burn off muscle mass to make your calorie consumption throughout a day lower, and it becomes more and more difficult to burn fat. If we raise your calories, your metabolism will raise to meet that, so that when we do decide to cut some calories out, you're more likely to burn fat and be more efficient at the time.
So I saw this article last week. I said, I got to save this for Greg. Yale University scientists say cutting back on calories could add years to your life and rejuvenate a key part of your immune system. They say adults who reduced their calorie intake by 14% had a better functioning thymus gland, which is the organ that sits above the heart and produces illness-fighting T cells, and usually ages quicker than the rest of the body. Stopping its decline could enhance a healthy lifespan, said the research team. And then they go into how they did everything. That's not all of the details and all of that, but what's your initial reaction to that?
So I know, or I think I know where they're going with that. There's a process, and I'm blanking on the terminology here. Ketosis is very popular for it, where it actually encourages your body to kill off poorly productive cells. So someone who may be suffering from, a cancerous issue can benefit from ketosis because their body becomes more efficient at killing off those cancerous cells. I think that's where they're going with that. Hey, eat less calories, which means you're probably eating less junk. Your body becomes more efficient, right? This is kind of like the cereal effect I talked about. Mm-hmm. It's not the cereal that lowers your cholesterol. It's not eating the eggs and bacon.
Just as a dieter my whole life, this is the kind of stuff that makes me so angry, because it's what you're eating. They don't, and that's what you're teaching people. And I really appreciate that, because a lot of times, if you stop eating all that pizza, what are your calories? Are your calories pizza and fast food and Twinkies and cake? Well, yeah, cut back on those. But if your calories are all this food that is beneficial nutritionally to your body and everything that your body needs, then that's a totally different thing. And we don't push that.
Yeah, I just turned 26 at the end of last year, and I've pretty much always been able to get away with eating whatever I want and staying out late. It's really starting to catch up with me, and I've noticed that, sitting here having to really take accountability for the fact that I pretty much eat fast food multiple days a week and don't eat every meal, and I never have breakfast, and it really does make me feel like crap. Like, I really have to start to think about other things, so I'm really soaking all this in right now.
This leads us into something we always have to mention when you're here, because people hear meal plans and they hear, I'm not going to be able to eat anything that I like ever. And
geez.
I asked you last time if there was any fast food that you liked, and you said yes. And we should point out that you will allow people to give you a certain number of things. Like, look, you said bacon. I got to be able to eat bacon. You're going to be able to figure out a meal plan for somebody that's got to eat bacon.
Yes, and you said the magic words right there, a certain amount. I have had people get frustrated when they're like, well, I want Taco Bell, I want pizza, I want tacos. And they give me this laundry list, including candy. And I'm like, listen, man, can we just pick one? Maybe two? I'll give you a pita pizza, maybe some gummy bears after your workout, but cut me some slack. I'm doing my best.
Can you work around ramen noodles?
I can. I don't like to, but I can.
Let's get to this email from Ashley. She says, I'm so happy Greg's here. I've been wanting to ask this for a couple weeks. I see daily vitamins everywhere. Some are ridiculously expensive and some are cheap. What makes a daily vitamin supplement better than another? I know that the supplements tend to be a big moneymaker for trainers and nutritionists, and they just want you to buy their supplements. So as a consumer, how do you determine which is best for you? Are they all the same, and you just choose the best to fit your budget? This gives us a chance to segue into Maptrition, which you talked to us about last time you were here. Brought some incredible products. That damn cinnamon roll powder.
The twisted cinnamon shake.
God, the best.
But we have now set up at radradio.com. If you go to the Stupid Store section,
Superstore.
there is a drop down for Maptrition, and little Charlie, who is
not little.
a client of yours. He's getting bigger, but not taller, because he's working with Greg from trainwithmap.com. But we have some of your Maptrition products, and to her question, we've got a daily vitamin, but specifically for both men and for women. So let's start with those. First of all, what's the big deal that they're a gel capsule?
The gel capsule. So gel capsule means you can put a powder inside of it, right? It also means that it will degrade just on your tongue if you leave it there. This is very important because your body can actually access the powders inside, and the powders inside can be quality, meaning they're cooked at a very low temperature processing. This is very important for vitamins because most vitamins are water soluble. So if you boil your broccoli, you're losing a lot of those vitamins. Now, if you're making a hard capsule, or you're producing the powder too quickly at a high temperature, what you see on the label is what went into the powder, not what you're actually getting. So it all gets cooked up, destroyed, it upsets your stomach, causes bloating, right? So if you ever have a multivitamin that doesn't make you feel good, that's what's going on. It's a very low quality.
Would you recommend that every person on the planet is taking a multivitamin? Is there any reason not to?
There is no reason not to take a multivitamin, and it's very important because the number of calories you need to consume to get all of those micronutrients, the minerals and vitamins that you need, takes a very high calorie count. So if you're a chronic dieter, you're definitely under.
Now, you brought up absorption, and I've always wondered about this. If we take your multivitamin, what about people who are then taking other specific supplements? Are they still absorbing them? Like you have, I printed out the one for the male one is called the Jack of All.
Yes.
Okay. And so I printed. So we've got 167% of our daily volume of vitamin C. That's a lot of vitamin C. But what about somebody who says I want more? Can they absorb it? Should they be taking that? Does it helpful that the big one's the B12? I want more energy in the morning, so I'm going to take your vitamin and I'm going to take a B12. Or are we just killing? Are we killing the point here?
Yeah, you're kind of killing the point because your body does work in abundance, but if you're eating reasonable foods, supplements are just that. They are meant to supplement a healthy diet, and your body works in abundance. So as the vitamin C flies by, there are only so many receptors that are going to be able to take it, break it down, and use it. So having it throughout the day is important, but a quality multivitamin will ask you to take it more than once a day, so you'll have everything you need. There's no need to stack on top of that for any specific reason.
And that's what you're doing, right? Morning and night, take one of these. And then you don't need the whole medicine cabinet of B12, D3, B6. There's just no point to it. Am I right on that?
That's absolutely right. And usually people who are, I call it microdosing, if they're taking one of those items rather than, the full spectrum of a multivitamin, they're missing out because one thing affects the other. Just like we talked about with the phosphorus and the calcium, there are those balances throughout the time, and a multivitamin is going to do that best for you.
I notice also that specifically in the male support one, you add in other things that you don't see in most daily multivitamins. We got the echinacea, we got the saw palmetto, various things that we believe help men and their prostate, other things like that, and that's very unique for a multivitamin as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's giving you efficacious doses. That's what's important. Efficacious just meaning it's everything that you need, and what you see on the label is in a high enough dose to be effective in your body.
My best friend Stephanie, we're like the odd couple. She is a workout beast. If you saw her from behind, you would think she's 20 years old. Her ass is amazing. It's ridiculous. She works out all the time. She rucks, which that's when you're putting a bunch of heavy weight on you and you go on these ridiculous hikes and runs. And I didn't realize what I was talking to the other day, and I didn't know she had been, but she's been taking the vitamins for females. She loves it.
Oh, cool.
Loves it. And I mean, she is, she's very particular about what she puts in her body when it comes to food and vitamins, and she absolutely loves them and notices they're helpful, especially for all the working out that she does.
We just got this note from Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Says, I'm at my desk working hard and looking at the new RAD supplements. It's actually Maptrition, but we don't care as long as you enjoy Greg's products. I've used a few RAD products over the years. I'm always happy with them. I currently take a scoop of Gold Standard whey after my workouts. What would be the benefits of your protein powders?
The protein powder. So right back to the low temperature processing. That's very, very important for a protein because protein that's cooked over 108 degrees becomes denatured, which means your body cannot recognize it as an actual protein. The other benefits of mine is that they actually have digestive enzymes built in, which a lot of other products don't. And those enzymes are going to help you break down and absorb that protein more quickly and more efficiently, so it's easier on your gut.
Now it looks like we have a variety of protein powders available. How I know that we have, would you just say read the description? How would people determine which one is right for them?
It's very easy. So you can check out the description, but the idea is one is a meal snack replacement. That's the max work. And it's a blend of multiple types of protein that are going to digest more like a food. That's where the cinnamon twisted shake is. The determined protein is a post-workout protein. It is a whey protein isolate, very, very pure, and it's meant to replenish the muscles as fast as possible, specifically after a big burst of energy. And then, of course, there's the vegan protein committed because all those vegans are very committed.
And what about the salted caramel one? I really like salted caramel.
Salted caramel, it's on its way.
Okay.
It's on its way. It's about 2 weeks out. That's another
my
max work
Lord.
flavor.
And cookies and cream.
What?
Same thing.
It's
my
on its way.
God.
It's on its way.
Oh
No,
my
I'm
God.
serious, y'all. You already
God.
think you're cheating with that cinnamon one.
Oh my
I'm going to
God.
go nuts with the cookies and cream.
Wait till you try the chocolate.
And it's
Oh, what?
it's totally okay
Oh,
to
man.
drink that in replacement of a meal, and I'm not gonna get all fat and if it's whole. I mean, because Dawn's right. I hadn't had it before, but you gave me some. But it is ridiculous.
It's so good.
I got an actual milkshake the other day from a fast food place, and I was like, I'd rather be drinking this damn protein powder.
Yes, it's a milkshake.
All right, guys, I can retire. We did it.
Honestly.
I went in for a kickboxing session with Greg one time, and I didn't eat lunch that day, so he gave me some of this protein stuff, and I wasn't hungry the whole time. Actually, I worked out a lot harder that day too.
Wow.
Wow,
So
your milkshake brings all the boys to the bar.
even as a pre-workout, if I forgot to work out occasionally, this works.
Absolutely. There's benefits to taking protein pre or post workout. So a lot of those instructions will tell you to do both. I'm not trying to have you use the bottle in a day. I'm not trying to oversell you, but it is great for both.
That's a fair question. Can you drink too much of this stuff?
You can. So again, it's a supplement. It's meant to supplement your diet. It is not meant to be the majority of your protein throughout the day. Unfortunately, I don't have a scientific percentage to tell you how much you can take, but readily you could take 3-4 scoops a day, regardless of your size, and be totally fine.
What can you put it in? What can you give a variety? I get people like, well, do I just put it in water? Do I have to have milk? What do I use?
It is delicious just in water, and that was very important to me before making a product.
That's how I drink it.
Yeah, and it's something you can travel with easily, right? The other two that I do are almond milk, the unsweet version,
Yeah, that's what I do.
or if you want a little bit thicker, a skim milk. Puts it just a little bit thicker, and it's really good.
I've added blueberries to the cinnamon one.
Yeah.
Like fresh blueberries and then the unsweetened vanilla almond milk, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm cheating. It's so good.
And these are all easily available at radradio.com. If you go to the Stupid Store,
Superstore.
go to the Maptrition drop down. And remember, some of what we alluded to there isn't here yet, the salted caramel. But we're 2 weeks, we hope. It'll
Yeah,
be
2 weeks
available?
on the salted caramel. The cookies and cream is going to be a little bit longer.
Hello, Jose.
Jose?
Hola.
Jose?
Spanish for Mexican.
Hello?
Yes,
Hey.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. Hey, I was taking some BCAAs a few years ago, but now they've discontinued those BCAAs. I wanted to ask Greg, while I'm looking for some new BCAAs, what he would recommend and what he would tell me to stay away from.
Sure. So what I would recommend is the Maptrition Bcaas. I call them all day Bcaas because, again, I mentioned you can add it to your waters just strictly for the flavor, and you can drink all the BCAAs you want and have no negative side effects. If you do have a high protein diet, you may have some funny smelling sweat at the end of the day, but that is the only side effect of drinking a lot of BCAAs. What you're looking for is a 2-1-1 ratio. That is the 3 BCAAs there are: leucine, isoleucine, and valine. You want 2-to-1 leucine because it's the highest usage in the body.
Is there a time of day that we don't want to be drinking, like for people that are drinking your protein powders, like say me, just because they're delicious? Is there a time of day that they shouldn't be drunk? Like this is not something you want to drink right before you go to bed or first thing in the morning, or when is it most appropriate?
Those 2 times, actually. So if you're going to take the Max Work, something that could replace a meal or a snack, first thing in the morning so that your body has an immediate source to start protein synthesis so that your body can continue to maintain and build muscle throughout the day, or at night before you're going to essentially go into starvation for 8 hours. Those are great times. Post-workout would be the next time. That's actually what I recommend. So everyone should take a multivitamin. Everyone should have a post-workout stack of some kind, including a whey isolate like the Determined protein powder.
Katie says, are your supplements and protein powders okay for weight loss surgery patients?
Absolutely. The only thing that would be in there is corn. There is some cornstarch to hold the powder together the way it's supposed to be, but that's a very rare issue for anyone, and it is gluten-free, and there are no binders in there that will affect any gut info.
Got an email from Nick, says, what oils are in your protein? I don't take rancid oils.
There is no oils in the whey-based protein. In the vegan protein, there is an MCT oil, which you're not going to have a problem with rancid oil there.
And Jennifer says, what about apple cider vinegar gummies? This apple cider vinegar thing has come up a few times with you.
It has. It's something that you can supplement if you're having gut issues. I don't see any good reason to do it unless you have a very acidic diet, in which case we have other things we need to talk about. And I'm just throwing it out there. I will never make those because the reason they make so many of them is they are the highest markup product.
I fell prey to those.
Yep.
And they tasted too good, and I'm like, what am I doing? This is probably garbage, and I don't need it.
A few other questions here. RAD@radradio.com. Bree says, I'm curious if Greg would have a program that would work for me. I had my 3rd baby and would like to start losing some weight and getting more in shape. I'm still breastfeeding, and my milk supply tends to be sensitive to big changes when I try to lose. Is there a program that can help me do this steadily to hopefully not affect my supply too much? I'd also need a thyroid supporting diet. Am I just too complicated?
Not at all.
Sweetie.
It sounds like a lot at first, but it's actually a lot of basic information. There are a few key things to avoid from the very start, and you will feel those effects very quickly because your body's very prime and very sensitive to it. So we'll be able to adjust every step of the way.
We got this from a woman who doesn't want her name used.
Hey, girl.
Says, I'm a 30-year-old extremely obese female, and I am so tired of it. I recently received or purchased a gym membership because I need to change for myself. I'm nervous, I am scared, I'm worried about all the looks of almost a 300-pound female going into the gym with all the beautiful people.
Oh, honey.
I don't know how to eat well. I don't know any of the machines, but I need to change. My worst fear is being intimidated at the gym and quitting. Can you please give me some words of wisdom so I can get this journey on, because I am tired of being this big and unhealthy?
Yes. So it's a two-way street. Just know that anyone that's giving you a bad look, karma's coming for them. You're out there doing what you need to do, and you made the first step, right? You signed up. You're ready to go do it. Go do it. If you do it once when you really, really don't want to, you'll prove to yourself that you can do it every time. And once you start, you'll feel the results immediately, because you do have a long way to go, and the motivation comes next.
Well, and plus, like, you're going to live with that fear and that insecurity for as long as you're not doing it. So you better get started so you can start feeling better sooner. And also, it's like, take it from me, I'm 5'10". I'm a 5'10" woman with an Adam's apple. I've walked into plenty of spaces where people are giving me dirty looks. We just have to live with it, and at least yours can be fixed.
Yeah, you know what? Guess what? There's other people that are big in the gym too. They have the same goal. Not everybody there is skinny.
Yeah.
and pretty.
Yeah, what gym are you going to that they're all beautiful?
Yeah, everybody's trying to get in shape.
It wasn't the time when I was reading it, but when I read the line, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm worried about all the looks of going into the gym with all the beautiful people. I'm like, hun, you just proved you haven't been to a gym in a long time. Yes. And not to be self-serving, because Greg won't do it, but honestly, you should really consider reaching out to Greg when you also say that you have no idea of the food that you need to eat, because he can help you with the meal plans, but you're also going to get that natural motivation that you just got in 30 seconds, because you're going to be a client of his. The prices are extraordinarily reasonable, and there's really no price on what you're trying to do.
And I don't care how much you work out. Well, this was my experience anyway. I don't care how much you work out. Even when I didn't need to lose weight and I worked out a lot, but I still ate terrible, I still felt terrible. Working out as much as I did was not helping me feel great because I was still fueling myself with junk. So that's like, I feel such a big part of feeling good is the food.
Easy to find Greg. He's online at trainwithmap.com. You have a social media account as well?
I do.
How
It's
do they
just
find you?
Put some periods in between. Train.with.map.
There you go. And his Maptrition products are now featured at radradio.com in the Stupid Store as well.
Superstore.
Just go to the drop-down area. He does online meal plans. He can do online workouts with you. You can go to his gym. You can do kickboxing like Kyle.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to mention real quick, my friend?
No, I hope everyone has a chance to try the products. They really are the quality that we are preaching that they are. I wouldn't take them myself if I didn't feel that way. And if anyone has any questions, please reach out to me through social media, through the website, whatever you need. I'm happy to help.
I'm going to change my entire regimen. I'm going to go to your multivitamin, and I'm going to clean out my medicine closet based on talking to you, and I'll report back in 30 days.
I love it. It's going to be great.
Thanks again, Greg. Online at trainwithmap.com.